Welcome. This is an instructional video on how to maintain your e-bike drivetrain. There's only two key components that we're going to be maintaining on this video, and it's the chain and the cassette. The materials that you'll need for this task are this jar. This is any jar that you want to pick. This is a onion dip jar. And as you can see, there's mineral spirits in here, and there's also sediment in the bottom of here from previous cleanings of the chain. So that's one reason why I like to use mineral spirits, because you can reuse it over and over again, and it's cheap. And then you also need some safety glasses and a master link removal tool, some gloves, and a degreaser. This is any generic degreaser. You don't even have to get this. You can use mineral spirits if you want. But yeah, it's a spray-on stuff. I use it because it's fast and easy. And then also you might want an air compressor. So if you want to do some cleaning, I get an air compressor with a blower on the tip here, so you can blow it out on the chain. We'll get into that later. And also some safety precautions. Know how to dispose of mineral spirits, and don't eat it or drink it. Just know all your mandatory safety instructions on all this stuff, and you can't use this as a blowtorch or anything. And also just know your basic maintenance shop safety procedures. And you also need some rags and know how to store those rags, especially when you have like mineral spirits on them too, because they can catch on fire. Alright, so the main reason why I'm making this video is because I've had a lot of problems with my e-bike, with the cassette and the gearing and everything. So one way to minimize those problems is by keeping the chain clean and the cassette clean. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get your master link tool and remove your chain. And just stick it in here. This is my master link right here. Just stick it in here and then just close it, and then the chain should pop off fairly easy. And yeah, be careful that doesn't whip you. And then you can take your chain off. And then also before you do this, I'm sorry I didn't do this quite in order, but make sure that you're not on the first gear. You might want to be at least like up to the 5th gear or something, so this comes off a lot easier. And then take off your wheel. And then pull back up on this, on your derailleur. And pull the tire off. And set that aside. And then take your chain off, which shouldn't be too hard. And then set that inside of the jar here. You set it in the jar so you can let it. Oh man, that's why you're supposed to wear gloves. And then stick that in here. Sometimes it doesn't always get in there right when you get it in there, but if you shake it around, the mineral spirits will lubricate the chain and it will fall back down in there. If not, it's okay. I just set it in there and then let it soak while I'm cleaning the wheel. Then you grab your wheel, and what I like to do is sit on the ground and then put a rag inside of here, so it's in between the cassette and this is your rotor right here, because when you're going to be cleaning this, if anything drips from this cassette down on your rotor, it'll give you braking problems, and just not a good idea. So put this rag inside of here like this. Make sure it's all nice and neat in there, so when you put on your cleaning solution that it doesn't fall on the rotor. And then here's my other rags, and I'm kind of putting my gloves on a little late, but put on your gloves because it's probably going to get really dirty. Probably I would have done this earlier, but it didn't happen. And then here's your degreaser. And then I usually make sure I put some kind of rag around here. So, where's my safety glasses actually? Yeah, don't forget to put your safety glasses on while you're doing this, because you don't want to get any of this stuff in your eyes. I usually put a rag around here, so you don't want any detergents or anything inside of there. It should be sealed, but just in case, I like to put a rag around there and then just kind of spray it on the cassette here. You can let it soak for a while, or if you're impatient like me, I just start cleaning right away. And then I just kind of dab it down like this. And then you gotta clean in between each gear like this. And then just kind of wedge it in between here like this. And then you can rotate it. Get in between all the teeth to get it clean all the way around. And just keep doing that till basically it's all nice and silver. Or whatever color yours is. Now, I went with the XT version of this cassette. I guess some people might be Scram fans, or whatever fan you are. You might want to look into that. But the XT, you can buy separate cogs. The 11 tooth cog, and I think this is the 13 tooth top cog right here. And I found that these kind of wear out really fast. So I can get 2 years out of these instead of 1, because I can replace these top 2 gears here. This is like gear 11, and this is the second one down here. I know this sounds kind of bad, but this second one is the 10th gear. And I found out that these wear out, so every year when I do maintenance, I'll swap out these 2 gears, but keep the whole cassette. So what happens is when I'm riding this down the trail is that the chain that wraps around this top gear here, let's say you're mashing on the pedals as hard as you can, the chain will actually move up over the teeth and up onto the next one. So it'll feel like you'll have a break for a second and your feet may fly off or something, because your chain will actually move over these teeth and back down. It's kind of hard to explain, but you'll have like a hiccup or something, I guess you could call it, whenever you're riding, because there's so much torque from your electric drive system, and with you pushing on the pedals at the same time and being a high gear and high speed, that it will actually skip over these teeth, and that gets really annoying. And this is one way I minimize that from happening. Okay, now I have it cleaned, and you can kind of see how all the gunk's been moved out of the teeth there. And then after I've cleaned the cassette, we'll take a look now at the chain. And give it another shake. And then we'll take it out of this can here. And make sure you have a pretty big rag. here. So I'll soak it all up. Take your air compressor and blow it out. Some people don't want to do this, but I kind of prefer doing it this way because there's a lot of dirt and grime and sand that gets in these joints. So I just get air compressor and blow this out. Make sure you're wearing your safety glasses so you don't get anything in your eyes. But then you can just blow it out like this. Clean out all these joints. You don't want to get all the mineral spirits out. And you also may want to wear some kind of mask so you're not breathing in some of these fumes, but it's at your own risk. Yeah, so just go through the whole chain. Then after you've blown that out, you may want to take a rag and just kind of get any residue off. You can also let it sit out for a while if you want and let it dry out, but I usually don't. It's not that big of a deal to me. Some people are pretty particular about things. And if you want, you can also clean your chain ring here, and then sometimes your teeth on your derailleur get a little gummed up with stuff. And yeah, you can clean those. Just wipe it off with the rag. That's all right. I'm sure people know how to do that. Then put your wheel on. And make sure you pull your cassette up, or your derailleur, sorry, so it doesn't get in the way. And these are your quick links right here. Kind of see them here. This is Shimano's. And then we'll slide our chain in here. I'll delete that part out. Let's watch me untangle the chain. Now, if you can't remember how it went in, it's always good to take pictures of how it was before, if you can't remember how these slide in. And some of these also have a brake on them. Mine's under here, right here, and you can push it up and it'll release the brake. Then you can turn your wheel to pull the chain in. pull this through. Then you can put your 2 links in. It goes in here. And the other goes in on the other side. And then you see these 2 holes right here. You gotta make sure these each go in right here. And you just kind of have to play with it till you get it just wedged in there enough. And see, there's not quite in. Oh, that came out. I'm gonna try and get back in there. And then get your pliers and stick them in there. And then you just pull it out like this, and then it should lock in. And I don't know if you heard the click, but it's locked in, nice and tidy. And then put it back on here. And then, last but not least, put on your brake, and then you can oil your chain. There's no specific way to oil your chain, but I have some ceramic or Teflon lube, and then while it's flipped upside down, you can oil it like this. And don't forget to put your axle through. Make sure that's at the right torque. And screw that in. I'm gonna actually oil mine later, but just put that in there. And make sure you don't got any play between. There's no play there. And that's it. That's how you clean your cassette and clean your chain. And then of course I didn't show you the oiling, but then you oil your chain and then you should be pretty good. And for me, this has helped a lot on right here when you're on the top gear, like I was saying earlier. When you're going about around 30 miles an hour, I found that the chain will actually slip over these gears right here. And especially when it's raining outside, it will slip right over the gears. So that's one way of maintaining that slip. Thanks.